You are someone that has been working on yourself, or you've had a spiritual awakening or many spiritual awakenings, because once it starts, it doesn't stop. You will realize at a certain point that you vibrate at a higher frequency, and lower vibrational people that you once felt a connection to, you can't really be on their level no more, and they can't really be on your level no more. So what I mean by this is, say you've worked on yourself, you understand to not get mad over little things, over things that really aren't an inconvenience to your life, so there's no reason to get worked up. And then the person that's on a lower vibration still dabbles in these things. They still interact with things that really don't even matter, like just complaining or talking about another person at work or just stuff like that, you know? So whenever you are working on yourself and you start getting yourself to a higher vibration, you talk about more things that make more sense to you and are more important to you and actually matter here, you'll realize that you have less to say to these people at a lower vibration. So the only way that you all can actually have a conversation where both of you feel like you're on this even plane and one's just not talking the whole time while the other one's like, yeah, 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 not really interested, not really invested. The only way that this can be an equal give and take is if the higher vibration person either comes down and meets them at these lower vibrations and talks about the stuff they talk about, or the lower vibration person comes up and meets the higher vibration person and talks about the stuff they talk about. But it's so hard to go back once you realize something isn't for you, or it's a waste of time, or it doesn't really matter. It's hard to get back into that energy. I mean, it's actually easy if you have certain people that you're used to seeing your whole life. You got all these memories with them, all these emotional connections. They can drag you down real quick. But once you've came out of that and broke out of that and broke out of your old surroundings, broke out of your own friendships, broke out of your old relationships, and you've pushed onto something that resonates with the person you are more now, that aligns with you more now, that's where you'll have more meaningful conversations and conversations where you meet someone on the same level as you. But if you're someone that vibrates at a high frequency, you're always going to have this issue. I want you to know this, because if you're vibrating low, you just either don't talk to those people that vibrate high, or you just don't even know what they're talking about, so you really don't have an opinion. Like, they're talking about stuff that they've dove into and understanding multiple angles of the same topic, seeing this topic in different angles. And most people that are low vibrational only get force fed the news slop that comes out, and that's about it, because we're forced to have almost no time to ourselves. And then if you have kids on top of that, then you really don't have any time to yourself. So that's just the dynamic that the United States has made for all of its citizens, is just to work to the bone and not really have time for anything else. But the point of this whole message is don't feel bad because you can't relate to people that resonate at a lower vibration. It just means you're growing. And these people are choosing not to grow. They're choosing to confuse freedom with financial buying power. And they're confusing that, so from the jump, you get stuck in this area where you don't even have time to think about things, or think about yourself, or think about things you want to work on, or understand yourself. So the reason that you can't really talk to people at a lower vibration than you about higher vibrational things, especially if they're dark, is because these people are not ready to meet that type of darkness. They haven't even met that type of darkness within themselves. So this is why you can find people are apathetic to society, because so many people have learned to numb yourself instead of understanding why you're feeling this way, and to confront your emotions and your pain. And they just continuously numb, and they never get to a point where they're facing their problems, where they're growing as a person, where they're understanding more. So it's really how it's just built that really messes everything up for the majority of people. Most people don't have a chance because they put themselves in positions that by the time they realize they should have been working on themselves, they've done created too many responsibilities for themselves. And now they got to constantly maintain all those responsibilities. So, once again, if you're a high vibrational person and you're talking to lower vibrational people, either they have to come up and meet you and learn more and talk about the stuff you're talking about, or you're just going to have to come down there to them and talk about the stuff you already know doesn't even matter. It's all love, everyone. You all know this. I wouldn't speak unless it was all love. You all know this. I'm out.